Hello, dear viewers. Welcome to 9 TV International's extensive coverage of the situation in Gaza and the UN General Assembly meetings. And the latest that we got is that U.S. President Donald Trump said on Thursday that he will not allow Israel to annex the West Bank, rejecting calls from some far-right politicians in Israel who want to extend sovereignty over the area. Trump addressed the topic after what was described as a phone call with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to discuss resolving the conflict in Gaza. Trump told reporters in the Oval Office that he will not allow Israel to annex the West Bank and affirmed he will not allow it. It's not going to happen. The words of the U.S. President. Of course, earlier, Trump, after meeting with several Arab and Muslim leaders, laid out a 21-point plan for resolving the crisis in Gaza. With us now live over the phone is Dr. Moataz Abu Zeid, the professor of international law, to give us his insight on the developments. Thank you very much, Dr. Abu Zeid, for joining 9 TV International.
Good evening, welcome, dear.
Thank you, Dr. Abu Zeid. Good morning, sir. I wanted to ask you first about the Trump announcement that, you know, this will not happen, it's not going to happen. He's talking about Israel's potential annexation of the West Bank. How do you see this development, especially in light that it came after the meeting with several Arab and Muslim leaders in New York on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly?
Yes, of course, it's a very obvious turning in the situation of the USA about the problem of Gaza territorial, and of course the meeting with Arab and Islamic leaders with the American president affected this decision or this new point of view in the USA policy, especially after many times of using many veto right in Security Council about the problems of the military movements of the Israeli government in Gaza, or the declaration of the construction of the Palestinian state.
Yes. Dr. Abu Zeid, it is to note that President Sisi was briefed earlier Thursday by Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli on his visit to the United States and his participation, of course, on behalf of the President in this meeting and at the UN General Assembly meetings. It is to note that President Sisi said that he appreciated the efforts of President Trump to stop the ongoing war in the Gaza Strip, in particular his pursuit of peace in the Middle East at large, and that he valued the proposals that Trump had presented during his meeting with Arab and Islamic leaders, which President Sisi said he viewed as an important foundation upon which we can build further in the upcoming period so as to achieve peace. Your comments, sir?
Yes, of course, the Egyptian situation, according to the case of Gaza, is very clear from the beginning, since 2 years, and the steps that was taken by the Egyptian regime, led by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, was very effective and successful for the regional field or the international field. Of course, it was clear the reaction and the reflection of the Egyptian effort, especially after the declaration of the French president in the United Nations for the construction or the recognition for Palestinian state. And of course, this translates the the Egyptian efforts and the Egyptian communications with many parties in Europe and in the Arabian and Islamic countries to encourage this campaign of recognition for construction of the Palestinian state. On the other hand, of course, this will affect the situation of the USA because, of course, President Trump will be very keen to save the interests of or the successful steps of the United Nations, especially the recent agreements and the conventions of normalization with many countries in the Arabian region, especially the Gulf countries. And of course, this will improve the situation of USA and the strategic role of Egypt in this field.
Yes. Dr. Abu Zeid, here is some of what we know about the 21 points, Trump's 21-point plan. Some of what we know is that, of course, the release of all remaining hostages, a permanent ceasefire, a gradual withdrawal from all of the Gaza Strip, a gradual Israeli withdrawal naturally, a post-war plan that includes a governing mechanism in Gaza without Hamas, a security force that would include Palestinians, but also soldiers from Arab and Muslim countries, and that the funding would come from Arab and Muslim countries for the new administration and the reconstruction of Gaza. This is some of what we know about the 21 points, the Trump plan. Anything new that you see in the plan, or any development to you that suggests that this time around a ceasefire will be finally indeed reached?
I agree with you. It's a very ambitious plan, but it's very important to revise or to memorize the declare the plans of reconstruction of Gaza territorial since the beginning of military actions in this territorial. Firstly, it was declared by President Trump that there will be a plan for reconstruction for the damages happened in Gaza without any
relocation
or suggestions about what will happen or what will be planned for the government or the organization for or management for this territorial. And now the 21 plan gives a new model of how to manage or how to be managed this territorial in Gaza, maybe according to the absence of Hamas, maybe according to the collaboration of many leaders of Islamic and Arabian countries, maybe under the auspices of the United Nations. But of course, according to the campaign of the declaration of welcoming the new state of Palestinian territorial, this must be related to the new sovereignty of this country. And of course, this sovereignty must be respected, and any party can participate in the operation of reconstruction of Gaza territorial. This must be clear for these parties that we cannot break or violate the sovereignty of this country if we have a real intention to make a reconstruction or a right reconstruction for this territory.
Okay. Do you think all of this could change, Dr. Abu Zeid? First of all, are you optimistic, again, this time around, that things will move forward? I mean, we've had a ceasefire in January, earlier this year, when Mr. Trump came to the Oval Office, but then that ceasefire was violated by Israel, and then of course the aid, Israel blocked all the border crossings and prevented aid from trickling in, and it used the starvation policy against the Palestinians, and it continued the genocide war against the Palestinians in Gaza under what seemed to be the approval of Mr. Trump. So do you think this time around that we can trust Mr. Trump, that things are going to change, to the good, or do you think that all of these promises could be erased once Mr. Trump meets the war crime suspect Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu in the upcoming days in the U.S.?
Of course, this must be considered, all these hard and difficult circumstances that you mentioned on one side. But on the other side, and according to the soft power of the international law rules, this will be or this will make a real difference. And according to all these problems, but we must be optimistic, because according to the pressure that the public opinion of the international society made upon great international organizations like the United Nations, and of course the situation of President Trump and the United States according to the problem of Gaza, of course, and after all these difficult circumstances, a new light or a new way to solve this problem can appear according to the declaration of the Palestinian state, according to the turning in the situation of the American president, and of course on the other hand the dreams or the expectations and the movements of the Israeli government must be considered, because there is a great alliance between United States and Israel, and of course this strategic cooperation between the two countries cannot be denied. So all this pressure or all these turnings in the movements and opinions of the United Nations may make us optimistic, but we must consider also the expectations and the intentions of the Israeli government, that it's not far from any expansion or any other military action, maybe in Gaza or any other territorial in the Palestinian state.
Okay, when Mr. Trump says that he will not allow Israel to annex the West Bank, he will not allow it, it's not going to happen. I mean, again, the words of the U.S. President. Does that mean that the push for the two-state solution conference and the recognition of by France and the UK, Australia and Canada and others of the Palestinian state is indeed gaining momentum, because if Israel is, if the US is not going to allow Israel to annex the West Bank, then in an indirect way, it means it doesn't close the door on the two-state solution. But if it allows it, of course, to annex the West Bank and build more illegal settlements, then it is closing the door on the two-state solution. So can we take it from this perspective? Is this pressure by the international, is the pressure of the international community finally working, or is Mr. Trump fed up, finally found himself fed up with war crime suspect Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, or is this just a ploy, you know, just another American-Israeli trick like what happened in January of 25? What do you think?
Yes, of course, this must be considered according to the declaration of President Trump, that he refused or he will not permit the expansion of the Israeli government on the West Bank. But on the other side, we can achieve this, of course, by preventing the Israeli government to expand in this territorial. But on the other hand, we can permit the Israeli government to make more violations to the international law or to the human rights law or the international humanitarian law, according to many military actions that they may make, another genocide that can happen in the Israeli, in the Palestinian state. And of course, this will have a very bad or very hard consequences, maybe more than the expansion of the Israeli troops in the West Bank. So this must be considered or must be mentioned or must be in our point of view. On the other hand, the role of the Islamic and Arabic countries in this case must seize the opportunity of the international society pressure for the situation of the USA, or the great campaign of the recognition of the two-state solution, and this will make another difference or another pressure on the Israeli intentions or the situation of USA.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Moataz Abu Zeid, the Professor of International Law, for your time and your insight.